Oh, no, we can ask mom. Oh. Everybody's so quiet tonight.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hashem, and you?
I don't think I'm going to be able to get into pajamas after this because you're not moving.
What do you call? Where do you daven Mincha Ma'ariv?
I daven on my block, Dov Lubavik. That's where we've been davening.
What time they start? What time they do Ma'ariv?
Tonight we did 8 o'clock was Mincha. And we go
Ma'ariv?
straight right after. Assuming that it's Shkia has passed already, which I think was like 8:12 or 8:13, so we were good.
I went to Rabbi Brown for 8:20.
Is that the green room?
Yeah, we were doing it the whole Corona, so we decided why not make it every night.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so we're doing it every week, every night.
Gewaldig. You have to struggle for a minute, or you get a minute.
Not really, like 10 people commit and then 17 people show up.
Of course.
But we like to get a commitment every day, just to be sure.
I hear.
The only time they didn't have a minyan was on my wedding because I didn't tell anyone. So like 4 people showed up to the minyan and they were like all upset.
That's funny. I hear. Well, don't worry. We'll give you a break to get changed.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it. For one night, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I got to figure out when is the latest shkia. It's still gonna be moving late for another month. No.
Yeah, I think so, but not crazy later. But I think it still doesn't get earlier for a long time. Nice and early this year. Everything. I'm saying it's like so late. It's so late and it's early.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Again, actually, for me, this whole Ma'ariv is a disaster now. Shifarakwe changed from 10 o'clock Ma'ariv to 9:30. And Shayashiv changed from 9:45 to 10. So whatever. I'm messed up with the whole Ma'ariv. And I went to Rabbi Brown. I davened Shemon Esrei there. I'll daven the rest of it later. Whatever. Wednesday, Thursdays, I'm fine. Okay, I guess there's nobody else on, so let's get rolling, yeah? Oh, and I got another customer. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so we were in the middle of Sif Aleph and Hilchos Tzitzis, correct? I think that's what we were up to.
Correct.
Just don't remember where in Aleph. I think we did already the measurements, right? Amma by an Amma. Right, so the second line, well, in mine it's the second line down, but it's probably about halfway, right about halfway down. Yeah, so it says, howdy, Dave. Yeah. So it says, Va'aisan sha'aisan es atalas katan tfura min atzdadin. This is the undershirt tzitzis controversy right here. All right. Seems like they had undershirt tzitzis back then.
The kids that played basketball, amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, kid, would you believe it? Soccer or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Tiyulim.
Yeah. It says va'aisan sha'aisan es atalas katan tfura min atzdadin. So those that make the talis katan sewn on the sides, tzrichin lizar shatiya min kol tzad psucha roiv hanir leinayim. You still need to have a majority going up the side. They cross them like techubar, and you shouldn't attach it through crossum either. How do you say crossum is like buttons, right? I think that would be the type of buttons, zippers. And let me see how they. Yeah, that's what I think. And I don't think it's dafka hooks, whatever it is, like anything that's connecting them. So basically. So you have this, the island knows the undershirt tzitzis?
Yeah, they have buttons or whatever it is.
Some of them
The
have
older
buttons.
ones used to, Keter used to make them with buttons. They went out of business and the newer ones don't have them. They don't have the snaps.
Right, because it's because of this. Because I don't know if it's because of this, but the Kitzur says you shouldn't use buttons or hooks or zippers to zipper up on the side. Right? So some of them did. Now I think the way at least my kids' undershirt sits is it's connected under the arm. Right. So the old undershirt sits that I've seen were connected going down almost. It was almost like a shirt. Right. It's just they had a four corner. They cut it up a little bit on the side. So that was no good because it didn't have roiv of the way open. It had to be roiv. Right. Has to be roiv. Right. That's the thing with the frocks. How come the frocks are rounded off? You know what I'm talking about, a frock? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about what Chaim Berliners wear or Rosh Hashivas. Right, Rabbar wears it on Shabbos, yeah. The not the Chassidish ones that have no slit in the back. The one that has a slit. So since it goes up the majority of the jacket, so they need to round off one corner so that it's not a four-cornered beged. Right? So but that's because it goes up the majority. If they would sew it down a little bit so it didn't go up the majority, then they wouldn't have to round it off. Right? So the undershirts, it's the original ones was attached on the majority, so therefore they weren't even chayiv in tzitzis. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wearing it, but it wasn't really chayiv in tzitzis, so pretty much defeats the purpose. Right now, the ones that they have are just connected under the underarm, but it's connected for a couple of inches and that's it, right? So then that's pashut. That's pashut, okay. And what's with the ones that have the buttons? So the Kitzur says you shouldn't do it. You should not connect it. Connect the sides with buttons, right?
Why? Because that's going to be a non-four-corner beged if it's connected with that button or that snap.
Yeah, if you connect it with buttons, even though it's a temporary connection, it can be taken apart at any time. But I think that's a pshat, right? Because
it's
that's
only
not
midway through, though. No, it's still open. Plenty.
No, and Hanami, if you leave it open right of the way, then it should be no problem.
Right. That's how they have it. Don't they have like midway through there that snap?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was the ones that I used to
Yaakov-
wear were the same as the new ones, just there was a snap halfway down. But it was still only attached like 2 inches under your armpits.
I hear.
And I just saw something about a four-corner. I'm just looking this up in a safer while we're learning it. It talks about garments with 4 front corners, like a frock. That one of them should be rounded.
That's
why
what
it's
Yaakov said.
No, but that's
No,
4 front corners.
corners.
How do you have
Hold
4
on, let me
front
get rid of the
corners?
background.
A scarf.
No,
I don't get it.
Oh, because the lapel.
yeah, it's showing the lapel.
Oh, the lapels.
That the
Yeah.
lapels and the front corners count.
Why is that any different than any other jacket?
That's every jacket.
I don't know.
Any
but
double-breasted
it's saying
jacket?
one should be rounded off, and it's quoting the Ramah and the Ben Ish Chai.
Ramah, what, right here? Where? The Ramah by us? In Tzitzis?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't
quotes a
know.
lot.
But why is every double-breasted jacket not like that?
I do not know, but the page before that, it
No,
talks
because
about the
not
back.
every suit jacket has collars like that. They have one piece. Your suit doesn't look like that.
My suit doesn't look like that? I don't know.
I
I
don't
didn't
think
I didn't
so.
see the picture clear. But well, it doesn't
Oh,
look.
you
I don't
don't
know.
know. You do have, yeah.
See, you were texting me, but mine. What? I was not. Yes, you were. I was not. Promise you were.
And
Anyways,
I think that's unbelievable. Aren't men's suits rounded in the bottom?
Most, if it's not double breasted, yeah.
The tuxedo ones are squared. A lot of the fancy dinner jackets and tuxedos have are squared at the bottom, but suits are curved.
Suits are curved, but I'm not double breasted jackets.
Not double breasted.
Double breasted is out, man.
Yeah, but double
Double-breasted
breasted's out anyway. See, Yaakov, come on.
I know, but I'm sure it's gonna come back in at some point. I'm sure some kid has them stashed away in a warehouse somewhere, ready to bring them out.
I
don't
think
know.
once in a while you see someone wearing it.
Once in a while, yeah.
It was not texting. Someone texted me and I ignored it. I put it away right away.
Shouldn't have been
You
reading
were
it.
there?
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Naftali liners in the house, in case anybody wants to know.
Oh, we were looking for him.
Thank you. Now we can go weiter.
Jesse had
Thank
two
you. Now we can
cars
go
out
weiter.
looking for him.
Now
Yeah,
we can go weiter.
yeah. Anyway, so
Stop stressing.
I don't know. I never saw anybody with the front frock rounded off. You ever see anybody with the front
No.
of the frock rounded off? The back
No.
they do. The
Yeah.
back they do. Send me a picture of that, Jesse, on whatever, please. On the whatever. I'll look
I
at
just
it. I'll look
posted
at
it on
later.
the DAF group.
Oh yeah, okay, good, thank you. Okay, but anyway, so that's the thing with the undershirt sits. It's not okay. I don't understand what the point of wearing undershirt sits is if you have it buttoned all the way down the side. Then you might, wouldn't you? It's. I mean, what's the point? Just keeps you neater. Is that the pshat?
Because you're only wearing one thing when you're playing ball. You're not wearing tzitzis and a shirt. You're wearing one thing.
You just
And
wearing one.
it's not gonna flying all over the place. If you have that one button, it's not flying around.
I hear. So, I hear. Okay, so that's I guess that's what it is. But Lamaisa, he's bringing from the Magen Avram that you should not attach it with the hooks. But here he brings that he says minigira shemaim should not. You don't connect it on the sides at all. He says me'ikar adin it's mutter, right? If it's maker, then it's mutter. If you want to make sure that it doesn't get dirty or it doesn't fly all over the place, so then really it's mutter to use these hooks or to use buttons. Okay, fine. Weiter. Gam ye kol adam nizar shetiya le talis gadol betzitzis sheyitzata ba b'shas tefillah. Right. This seems like a davar pashut, right? Everybody should be careful that they should have a talis gadol with tzitzis for davening. Right? What does that mean? So, I mean, I guess
Is this every married person?
Oh, very good. So this he doesn't say, right? He doesn't differentiate between a bacher and a married person. Yeah, but it sounds like according to the Kitzur, everybody should have a talis gadol, right? For those yekis amongst us. Yeah, that's where it should be, right? But the Mishnah Brura brings that minig of Roiv Klal Yisrael is that Bachrim don't wear the talis. Right? So what's a nafkamina? But he does bring that almost all Rishonim they're not mechalik between the Bachrim and married people. And really everybody, Me'ikar Adin, is supposed to be wearing a talis. I don't remember why now it became the minig that Bachrim, by most of the world, Bachrim don't wear a talis. I'll have to check that up again. I don't remember.
Yekis.
But Yekis do, and Sfardim.
Sardim.
Right? Sfardim. But the thing is like this. You got to be more careful. I mean, we'll see this later on. Maybe yeah, maybe no. But part of the reason that the Gra held that the Gra wore tefillin, tzitzis, or that you could wear tzitzis from cotton, and the Chazon Ish wore tzitzis from cotton, and so does Reb Chaim. I don't remember what the Stipler did, but the Reb Chaim for sure wears cotton tzitzis, right? So part of the cheshbon is because, anyways, even if you hold that you have to do wool, so you wear your yaitza with your talis gadol, right? Why they don't have talis gadols of cotton? I think it's probably just a practical thing. But for a bacher,
Why don't they have
meaning
talis
so I wear cotton, right? It's just lighter. but I have you have that I'd wear a talis. I wear a talis gadol that's made out of wool. So I'm yaitz in the mitzvah tzitzis every day, right? Ramosha Feinstein was very anti-cotton.
Chaim Kanievsky is not anti-cotton,
He
right?
wears cotton.
He was good.
Yes. Ramosha said maybe in the summer, if it's really hot,
Isn't there pictures of
really
him wearing
really
cotton?
hot, then you could wear wool.
Isn't there pictures of Moshe and cotton in the mountains?
I don't know.
The famous picture of him learning it.
I don't know if it's cotton or wool.
I thought it's outside the shirt. I don't have to look at it.
It also looks like he's wearing a colored shirt. That picture, no? I don't know what's worse, cotton tzitzis
Did
or
he
a
have,
colored
did he have
shirt.
buttons? Did he have buttons on his tzitzis?
Didn't seem like he had buttons. Didn't seem like
He
it.
had already retired. Shmuel Duffin. He had retired from the softball, Eastside softball games. He was,
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, but it's interesting because it comes out that Bachrim, it's much more schwer to wear cotton than somebody who's married.
they won't have the
I don't-
Talis schedule because they won't
Because
have.
they don't have the
Talis
time,
gadol.
they're not yotze with wool, right? Somebody who's married at least gets wool in there. Right?
I don't
I
understand.
have a-
I don't understand that.
What do you mean?
You're wearing your talis gadol with wool, so you're yotze for a half hour while you're,
Good.
Davening?
Listen, yeah.
and then the
you're
rest
right.
of the day you're not so sure if you are.
Correct, but at least every day you're getting a mitzvah of tzitzis. At least every day you're being yotze to the mitzvah. Like we learned, right? We learned last week, or was it 2 weeks ago already? But no wonder I don't remember so clear where we left off. I forgot it's been 2 weeks. Okay, that's already way past my memory bank.
Right now, it's understandable.
Yeah. So there's no chiyuv to wear tzitzis at all. There's no chiyuv. It's only if you happen to be wearing dalet kafas that you put on tzitzis. But the chacham masakin that you should be yotze the mitzvah. Good. So you yotze the mitzvah at least with wool in the morning by davening, and then the rest of the day you wear cotton, which most shitas hold that cotton is okay. It's just you're not yotze all the shitas. You yotze all the shitas if you wear wool.
Oh, it's
You're not
wool.
yotze all the
This is a wool.
Yeah.
And it is a colored shirt.
Okay.
Jesse posted it.
I hear. Okay. But anyway, so that's that with the talis. It's yeah. I don't remember now why the Bachrim don't wear talis gadol. Fine. Okay, weiter.
I have a footnote here that says in the Kitzur, quotes the Mishnah Berurah that it's not good. It says Loto Osim Hamon Am Shemispalim B'derech Lo Talis Gadol. So that really it's not good because Balpi Rav Talis Katan Eina Osir Kedin Chol Prata Shir Roy Levarach Love. Most of the talis katans are not
Right.
roy for a bracha. And it also says, then he says at the end,
Who are you talking? He's
that,
quoting the Mishnah Berurah. It's quoting the Mishnah
he's going
Berurah.
with Kitzur and the Mishnah Berurah, and he says, "V'gam hu yashin bo b'layla," and they're sleeping in this beged.
What's wrong with that?
So the bracha then, no, that's how he ends it. He says, "V'gam hu yashin bo b'layla."
Why
I
should
think
that?
the Shulchan Aruch Seif test, and then Chav Daled the Mishnah Berurah.
So the Mishnah Berurah, I remember brings that the talis cottons, for whatever reason, the talis cottons are more puzzle. I guess because you're wearing them a whole day, so they're more prone
worn
to
out.
puzzle than the talis gadol. Yeah,
So it's a sure thing with the talis gadol.
correct. Yeah, so that's what he's saying, that if you don't wear a talis gadol, you better make you better make sure that your talis cotton is very kosher, right? Fine, okay. Weiter in the Kitzur. V'yahader shetiya lo talis noah. You should be mahuder to make sure you have a beautiful talis. Right? So you're supposed to have
So
a nice
that's the
talis.
source for the silver ataras.
See that? I don't know, because that's not the talis. Now, I think here he's talking about the talis. You should have a high quality wool. Make sure it's clean. Right? because that's what he means. I don't know, to put some bling on top of the talis, right? I'm not belittling. It wasn't meant to belittle the whole Hasidic world, even though both my sons-in-law have that. So I had to, I had to go for that. For those, one has one type, one has the geflochten,
Geflochten and the chains.
one is a Rebbe Sheinikel, there's a geflochten, and the other one has, the bells that ring when you move it. But anyways, so I don't know. I think that's already extra hiddur. That's already extra hiddur. That's not a hiddur in the talis itself. But so he brings here in the bottom from the Mogen Avram that you got to make sure it doesn't have stains, and you should fold it properly and don't just crumple it up into the corner, which could sometimes be a problem on Shabbos, right? The Hamoinam crumples it up. And then you have that Indian where everybody says it's Shalom Bayis to fold your talis in Motzei Shabbos, right? So of course we take the tuffle and we leave the ikr. The ikr, the Maril says it's covered for the talis to fold the talis right after Shabbos. That's what the Maril says.
What's the Shalom bias?
You never heard this thing that you fold your talis on a Motzei Shabbos? It's a school of a Shalom Bayis.
That's what your wife bought you.
Maybe that's why I have issues. I don't know.
What?
No, I don't know. I never heard it.
Right. So what did Rav Steinman say? Better to fold up your sleeves and help out in the house than fold the talis. Right. So
I like that one.
Yeah, I like it too from far.
What's the top they could have thought? I don't say what that was.
No, so my father's mother.
Oh, I was thinking
the reason why.
I was thinking you
What?
fold the talis and then you don't have to help out.
Well, if you take it.
Well, it depends how long it takes you to fold your towels.
Well,
you
it
make a
depends
Rebbe-
how long they need you for.
Yeah,
Right.
I understand.
You got to make yourself a Rebbe Shemaisa folding the talis. Slowly sing a niggin, a Leo Novi, whatever. Right? Yeah. But no, my father's one said that the reason why it's a school of Shalom Bayis is because usually the wife pays for the talis. So you're showing that you're making that, yeah, but what happens if you're already onto your next talis and in L'chara that's no longer, right? But that, Rabban, that's your thing anyways, that you should always keep your old talis, right? Keep it,
Yeah.
all the
I have
tefillas.
them. I have them. The only one I lost, my parents bought me a talus sometime during the years, and I didn't fold. In yeshiva, I never used to fold it, right? And I lost it. So since that Shabbos, or that month, till I couldn't find it anymore, I fold my talus on Shabbos.
Yeah.
Except when I daven now my own minion in the house with COVID,
Right.
then I left it obviously for Motzei Shabbos, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, but
Right.
I have Yaakov, I have Talasim, yeah.
Right. So some people, want to dafka use the old talis and and others say no. If your talis gets worn out, then you get a new one. You get a new one. Zakeli B'Anveyu. You get a nicer talis.
There's Maisa from the Shloimeh.
The what?
Reb Shloimeh told us about not cleaning the talis because when he was a young couple, they were in a bungalow colony, and the Rebbetzin and Alashon washed the talis was washed. She washed his talis and was hanging on the line. And then there was an old Yid in the boat. He said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Was ist mit der Terren? Was ist mit der Terren von der talis? What's these do?" He gave her a slightly hard time.
Tears in the talis. Yeah, I hear that. Well, the Rebbe's right for Yom Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. They bring out the talesim that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Talesim,
That's not. It's not for the Gemara. Our Gemara, the vision itself saying is that he was the Abder of Begid and the Kappel. It's gold. It's 150 years old.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Who is it?
What's his vision, Sir Rebbe? Where is it?
Yeah. They come from up, so they got the stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's okay, but you should make sure you have a talis noah. All mitzvahs have to be done with a hiddur to the best of your abilities. Right? The dashinon hisna lefana b'mitzvahs. You should make yourself beautiful in front of Hashem with his mitzvahs. So that's all mitzvahs should have. Right, we just learned that this week. It's the Gemara in Shabbos, Kuf Lamed Gimel, Lamed Beis. That's what we're up to in Shabbos. Yeah, fine. Then by to be tactic. What?
Because we mentioned him in this year last week. Zaidi Cohn had a nice supply of tabik smeared all over his talis.
Correct, right. Yeah. But I mean that, yeah. When the yeshiva used to make Simchas Torah Kiddush in middle of Akafas, the Stamid Oilam's Taleisim were very schwach, right? But, yeah. So the didactic, and then he shows me with that liknos tzitzius me ish nemon. Yeah, I mean this is a sad line. I mean it's whatever, the halacha is the halacha, but it's sad that they have to say this. The didactic liknos tzitzius me ish nemon, and you should be medactic to be kind of tzitzis from an ish nemon, shia batuach shenasu betvia upeshazira beferish lishma ukemitzvasan. Right, that you have to be careful that whoever's making the tzitzis, so the spinning and the twisting, everything the person should say beferish. It's lishma, right? L'shem mitzvah tzitzis. That the Aruch is kasher, it should also be the length of the proper length. Right, so unfortunately, there are scammers, and from what I understand, it's bad. It's bad. The tzitzis world and the what do you call it? The cipher world. There's a lot of.
Rich Scheinberg said that it's better for a yid to tie their own tzitzis because you don't know who did it. This is something I asked him personally.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, now they have the Badatz gives Hechsherim on tzitzis. I don't know if that's a good Hechsher or not. Haven't heard any fighting about who's giving Hechsherim and tzitzis in this town. That I don't know. I couldn't pass on that one. But yeah.
Mezuzahs used to be a horror show of Siyakov. When you were a kid.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, most of the Parsha mezuzahs were posted all every place. They were posted. They were mamish junk.
Crazy.
Junk.
I mean, it's sad.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying. Even in the Kitzur's days, and even Bizman Hazeh, that people can go rip people off with tzitzis and tefillin. It's mamish. It's crazy.
Makes the Beis Hamikdash not to look so bad.
You're right. You're right, but I don't know what it looks for all of us. I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. Yeah. Okay, right. The base. The Mishiyev Ela Batalis Shal Pishton. So let's say somebody can only do a talis made out of what do you call it? Linen. Shiyev Shalasis Vatzitzis Shal Tzemer Mishum It's a Shatnit. Right. So the tzitzis, wool tzitzis, works for all types of begadim. Meaning, really, if you have linen tzitzis, the baguette is linen, so the tzitzis should be linen. Right? If the baguette's cotton, then the tzitzis should be cotton. But wool works for all begadim. Meaning, if you have wool tzitzis, that works on cotton, that works on linen, which obviously it doesn't because of shatness, but theoretically it would work. So he's saying, so what happens if you have a one of pishton and you want to use wool, but you can't do that? So yesh misha omer, this is really not so negay as manazeh, but yesh misha omer the yasa knafa shel or. So what you do is the corners you make them out of leather, ubehen tzitzin shel tzemer, and then you hang the tzitzis on the leather, not on the wool. Meaning the corner of the tzitzis, you take each corner that's square, right? And you put on leather, and then memela, the wool is hanging on the leather, it's not hanging on the linen, right? And since it's not hanging on the linen, then it's not shatnez. But not everybody agrees to that. V'yesh cholkan lo shaloi lasses kain, and there are those that are chaylik not to do this. Yeah? Fine. So now, but what is more practical is, and I think a lot of talaisim have this, no? Don't they put an extra piece of garment on the corners? Right? Talis cotton has that?
To shore it up a little bit.
Right. Oh yeah, my cotton tzitzis has it.
My t-shirt Sitzes has it.
Yeah, I think that's what they do. I think that's what they do with the tzitzis to strengthen it up. So that's allowed. Right? That's for sure allowed.
My wool tzitzis have it.
Yeah, so it seems like that's what they do. The Talis Gadol have it? Okay, but anyways, he brings a chumrah in the footnote over here that if you're gonna add on a garment to the corner of each tzitzis, not each corner of the beged, then around the hole where the tzitzis hang, that should not be made out of wool, right? Because then that looks like the hole is where the tzitzis is, meaning you can make it look like that you took tzitzis and hung it from the hole and then you just wrapped it around. What do they call it? Not a seam. The stitching. Right? So the stitching that goes around the hole, if you're adding another, on the corners, you're adding a square to strengthen it, the stitching should not be made out of wool, because then it's going to look different. It's going to look not different. It's going to make it look like that stitching is your tzitzis, which it's not. So I don't know if necessarily why that's such a chashash. I mean, you have your regular tzitzis hanging in there. So why should it be a chashash that you have that's going to be your tzitzis? Okay, whatever it is, that's fine. So that's Sif Beis. That one's not so negela ma'aseh. Okay, let's just start Sif Gimel. So hanekev shemachnisim ba'is tzitza, right? Tzitza is a singular for tzitzis, right? Tzitzis is plural, right? So hanekev shemachnisim ba'is tzitza, the hole that you put the tzitzis in. It shouldn't be distance from the corner of the beged, whether it's by the length or whether it's the width. More than 3 finger widths. Right? And now what does that mean? Well, it means three widths of the fingers. So it's like this, right? Three fingers. But which part of the finger? Is it on the bottom part of the finger that's fatter, or is it the top of the finger which is skinnier? So he says in the brackets, Yesharim da'agudal and elu ma'idin b'makam ha'kotza shabagudal da'hainu b'roishin. Yesharim, that you measure it at the top of the finger, right? Where it's smaller. V'nochin lahachmer kain ayin shari tshuva, and it's proper to be machmer. Why is that a chumrah? I'm saying it's a chumrah. What's the difference? Because that means your hole to where you're going to hang the tzitzis from is going to be closer or further away. I mean, it is what it is. No, what's the difference where the hole is? Okay, but either way, what's a pshat in this whole thing? Why do you have to make sure that the hole is not higher than that? Kilamala, if you have the hole higher than 3 fingers worth, then it's not going to. Then that's not called on the corner of your beggar. What does the pasuk say? Al kanfei vigdehem, right? On the corner of your begodim is when you're supposed to make tzitzis. So it has to be on the corner. If it's too high, then that's no longer on the corner. So the height that it's there is the height that it has is gotta be 3 fingers. Anything higher than 3 fingers is no longer on the corner, and therefore the tzitzis are gonna be no good. Okay, well, we'll continue that next week. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to drive anywhere, so
Right.
You don't even have to log off.
Jesse,
Yeah, I'm just gonna take off my jacket, change my.
I'm going down to get my
uniform.
Gemara.
Yes.
I'm going down
I
to get
didn't
my
want to
Gemara.
interrupt this year with some, so My mother-in-law, all of a sudden, Yaakov was talking about suits, double-breasted suits. So my mother-in-law, she worked in the city. She liked to go into upscale resale shops on Madison Avenue. She had a nice eye, my mother-in-law. So she once got me a suit in the resale store. And at that time, the Shayashiv dinner was in the Sands, and my daughters were in Tag, and my boys were in South Shore. They also made the dinner in the Sands. So for a good bunch of years, I was in the Sands at least 3 times in winter, plus, if there was chasanas. So, and I was younger than I was drinking, so I knew the bartenders in the Sands, So I guess I wore that suit more than once. So I went over, I asked him for a drink. He says to me, the bartender, I was friendly. He says, that's a nice suit. I said, thanks a lot. He says, it's going to come back in style one day.
Funny.